I recorded this teardown when I was sick, so the voiceover is basically garbage. Here's me doing a voiceover years later. This is a Dell Precision 5510 laptop. I don't get to see very many Dell Precision laptops. That's the reason that I went out of my way to record this even though I was sick. Obviously, that's like a T5 Torx that we've got there, and you just take all of them out of the bottom. That's always the first step with all of these. You take all the screws out of the bottom. It's very, very complicated. You know, I might speed this up just to make things move along a little bit easier. And sure enough, take all those Torxes out of the bottom, but guess what? There's some hiding under a plate. If you lift that Dell Precision model number plate, there's a couple Phillips head screws inside there as well. It's quite a few screws. Now that we've got the bottom off here, let's see what we're up against. Well, I can see an M2 slot, so you can put a PCI Express SSD. This one has a SATA SSD, the SK Hynix, in your top right corner there. 2 RAM slots, 2 fans, discrete GPU. I mean, it's a Precision, so it's meant to be a higher-end business class computer, which kind of makes you wonder why there's an SK Hynix SATA SSD in there. Probably due to age. SSDs were a lot more expensive when they were older, and that's probably how they saved some money. So, what are we doing here? We have to get some of these connectors pulled, apparently, because the hinges have to come up. Take all the screws out of the hinges. Very, very difficult. Obviously, the DC jack's already been removed. Actually, see, I just realized what's going on here. It's been years, so I didn't remember exactly what this video was, but we're replacing the DC jack. That's why it looked like the jack was already out, because that's the new part. There's one little Phillips head screw holding the jack in. Take it out. Looks like this one's tab was already broken, so the jack wasn't actually held, but to put the new one in, you still have to take the old one's tab and screw out. Little comparison. Yeah, they look like they're the same. Jack goes back where it came from, except it's the new one, so about 100% less broken. Slide that power connector in. Always helpful to have fingernails. And then slide the DC jack where it belongs. It's actually probably one of the easiest things you can do, other than maybe swapping out the RAM. But yeah, that's about it. Pop the screw in that holds the jack. Hinge back down. The hinges are pretty tight. They have to hold a big heavy screen in a very small little axis. So yeah, a lot of force. And there are alignment pegs that you have to get it over too. So again, pop the 3 black screws back in. See, I've done so many of these that I can just narrate even though I'm not doing it in real time this time. Yeah, it's really just assembly is the reverse of removal. While my disembodied hands are reassembling things, we can take a quick look. You can see the battery's removable and has arrows pointing to the screws to remove to get it out. You can see connectors for probably the touchpad, the keyboard. The hard drive has a very different looking connector from the other two. The touchpad and keyboard have the blue tabs. And, you know, if this is a DC jack replacement, I am actually a little bit curious about why I'm poking around over there. It appears that I was checking the screws for tightness. I like to do that sometimes. Make sure the hinge screws have not loosened, because opening and closing laptops will actually cause your hinge screws to back out. It's a common problem, trust me. It's very annoying. What? I assume that at this point we're packing wires back in place because it's not a very thick area. You've got to kind of jam everything back in there so that it's flat or it won't go back together, because that's just the way these things are built. There are quite a few computers that are like that. It's kind of annoying, but That's the price you pay for these beautiful thin laptops these days. Get those wires down where you can reattach them. These ones are a little stubborn, but I think it'll all work out in the end here. Gee, I wonder if he's going to put the lid back. Why, yes. Yes, he is. Do you really need me to narrate anymore? No, you don't. This is probably one of the easiest disassemblies you'll do. The hard part's that part with the flap, and that's about it. So, I'll spare you the trouble of watching it go back together. Anyway, take it easy. Thanks for watching this very short, very late narrated video. Stay tuned for more fun repair thingies, and, like and subscribe and all that. Take care.